everybody. I'm Anita Finley, and this is the Zoomer Times TV presentation, and it's coming straight from Faith Farm Ministries. You've heard a lot of the people from Faith Farm, but this is the first time, well, not the first time that I've had a woman on, but the first time I had a woman on Zoom. Before I was doing radio, and we had some people from radio, but now we have a special person, Joan Green, and Joanne is really doing she's really in charge of something that I've always been very proud that they were able to finally get together. And she's the program manager and counselor for Eastham Home for Women at Faith Farm Ministries. Well, that's a very big opportunity, Joanne. So why don't you just tell us, were you a part of the Faith Farm? Is that how you got involved?
No, actually, I was hired initially as the counselor for the women's program a little over 5 years ago, and had the opportunity to serve as an interim director for a few months. And then we got on a director. And when she left, I was asked again to take on the double hat of manager as well as counselor. And so it has indeed been a great opportunity. It really has been. So I'm kind of wearing two hats. Yes.
You must be spectacular or you couldn't do it, because it's a very serious organization. It's a place where people have no hope who come and find their life again, especially if people can understand. It's one thing for the men to come and they leave their families at home, but for the women to come and leave their family, they have to have someone really good. So let's talk about that. When someone knocks on the door and there's a man, someone else, I think, takes care of it. But do you take care of when a woman comes and knocks on the door?
Well, we have an intake coordinator who does an extremely fantastic job. Her name is Tisa Spears. And the way the process works is we usually get either a word of mouth recommendation, or they call and we direct them to our website, and they do an application online. And then Tisa does the screening, and just to make sure that they're basically eligible and meeting the criteria. And we do a telephone interview, and we pray about it, we staff it, and we try and hear God on whether he says yes or no. We try and allow him to be the umpire. So he calls it safe or out.
Right, good. That's very smart, because sometimes there are secrets that are not detailed or divulged, and it could be hard on everyone, the people who are there already. And so it's smart that you have that extra layer.
Absolutely. And because we're not a dual diagnosis program, that could present some issues. And of course, everybody's not always altogether honest. We find out some things when they get here, but at least it gives us the opportunity to plant some seeds while they're here.
Yeah. Definitely. So you've been there 5 years. It's a long time, and you've seen a lot. Wow. And how many women are now in the program? What's it up to?
Currently, we have a capacity of up to 20, but currently we have 11 women. Yes, we kind of lost a few over the Christmas holidays. Sometimes that's difficult. They have a memory of partying and missing their family, their friends. And so normally around the holidays, we kind of lose a couple.
And you're not really sure if they've gone back and they're okay. Maybe even a small amount, right?
Absolutely.
They may be. So I'm sure you keep in touch with them.
As much as we can, yes. Some of them, of course, don't want follow-up. And so, but we do try and keep in touch with the ones that make themselves accessible, yes.
Where did you learn to be a counselor? What's your educational background?
Well, my master's in counseling psychology is from Florida Atlantic University.
Oh, FAU, right, a homegrown lady.
Did I say Florida Atlantic? I'm sorry, Palm Beach Atlantic.
Oh, Palm Beach, yes, I know.
Palm Beach Atlantic, yes, in West Palm, yes.
Right, I was very close to the president, Claude Ray.
Were you?
Yeah, you didn't go there at that time, I'm sure, because It's been a
This
long
is,
time since he passed
yeah,
away.
yeah. Yes, but that's where I got I've been doing social work, started with social work actually some 40 some years ago, and kind of migrated into counseling. Didn't realize that it was a calling, but just kind of followed the leading, and this is where it landed me. And when I look back on um, the life experience that I've come through and all of the situations that God has brought me through, I see very clearly now that He absolutely had a plan that He didn't necessarily let me in on at the time. But it was all worth it. And I haven't had that many jobs in my work history, maybe 7 or 8. But I can honestly say that this is the most fulfilling work that I have ever done. Sometimes I have to remind myself that I'm working.
Well, and of all the organizations everywhere, and I've been in Palm Beach County for many, many years, I love Faith Farm Ministries. It's the one organization I have so much, pardon the expression, faith in, because I know what they do. I've always asked people in your wills, leave a little money, leave something, leave a lot of money, but you can see the work, you can see the results in this organization. And so I'm a very big advocate for Faith Farm. Let me ask you something, Joanne. Where did you grow up then, in West Palm?
I grew up on the west coast of Florida, Pasco County, near Tampa. And then going into my junior year of high school, my family moved down to Fort Lauderdale.
I see.
And I graduated high school there and did my undergraduate degree at Xavier University in New Orleans.
Oh, really?
And yes, yes.
Well, now the women are actually, they're housed in Boynton Beach. You don't have
Yes.
it anywhere else, right?
No,
So
we're the only campus that has a women's program.
right.
Mhm.
And you know, when I've gone to so many graduations and I've gone to the homecoming, when the women get up and talk about what their life was like, I mean, it's heart-wrenching, you know,
Yes.
before and now. And so they're able to admit terrible things that happened to them because of their addictions.
Yes, absolutely. And you mentioned something earlier on that there's such a difference in how we handle, how we treat the women as opposed to the men. Women do come with a different set of issues, even physically and spiritually as well, but we are made as incubators. And so the traumas that we suffer, we incubate, and sometimes we nurture them, and anything that we nurture will grow. And so we have a tendency to hold on longer and more deeply to trauma. Not that men don't, but because we are incubators, you know, anything that you give us, we'll grow it. You give us trauma, we'll grow it. You know?
That's well said.
Yes, and the issues are very different. Again, as you said, we have mothers who come in who have a very difficult time not being able to see their children. Of course, those first 30 days, there's no contact. And so it is difficult as a woman to leave her children and to rely on someone else to care for them. So,
Well,
absolutely.
Joanne, that's so true. But I've always said, if you could take a video of the addict, no matter man, woman, and take a video and let them see what they're like and what they've done, they would understand that those children are so much better off without them for a short time, that they'll have their mother back.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they get to see that after a few weeks or, you know, of being here. They understand that the pain sometimes is well, oftentimes, if they will apply themselves and not just be present physically, but they have to be totally present. And allow the change, allow the transformation to take place. And then they can go home. And I like to describe it like this. These 10 months are just a slice, a slither of your whole pizza. So if you can get it right and do these 10 months, then you've got the rest of your whole pizza to be who God created you to be, and to be that
Yeah.
mother, to be that sister, daughter, wife, whatever it is. Yes.
I think just in the short time I'm talking to you, I know they made the best decision to hire you. Were you the first person they hired to do this?
Actually, no, there was a counselor that was here when I arrived.
What was her name?
Diana. I don't recall a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
her name was
I
Diana.
don't remember that, right.
Yeah, she
Of
was
course,
here when I got here.
I was
And
very close with Judy,
oh,
you know,
okay.
who
Yes.
passed away and all
Yes.
that. But,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
But so Diana, well, it was a very, I'm sure they had to really think about even starting a women's, they knew they needed it, but they didn't know how they were going to do that. So they've done it very slowly,
Yes.
cautiously. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's working, but hopefully now, all it is money too. I think if they had enough, they had a major contributor for the women's program, they could open up in Fort Lauderdale and some other places, but it all takes money, and it takes, you'd have to
Absolutely.
have another counselor like you, because it's it's very time consuming.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I think would be really beneficial is if we could expand even the current women's program to the point that during those last few weeks, there could be maybe some kind of facility for housing families, if only on the weekends, so that they could start to get some family counseling. Because whether it's the men or the women who come here and they start to transform, very often the families that they've left behind are not transforming. And so when the men and women graduate, they go home and they're this new person. And very often, by the time someone gets to us, it's usually out of frustration, a level of frustration. And so they just want to get you somewhere that you can get some help, so you're not pawning their stuff and stealing their stuff.
Right.
And many times, not most, many times, what the family wants is just you to be clean and dry.
Sure.
But when they get you back, they get more than a clean daughter or a dry son. They get a transformed son.
Yeah.
And so this transformed person that they have never known before, because the transformed person didn't even know who they were when they got here, and they get to learn who they are, who were they created to be. And so now you get this brand new person, and without some type of counseling to kind of introduce them to this new person, sometimes there are problems, because the family's like, I didn't ask for all this. I just want you to stop drinking. I just want you to stop using.
Who is this new person you brought back? Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, that's when they're scared too, they're all scared when the person comes
Absolutely.
back and all that. Yeah, it's just so much trauma, but you as a good counselor, an excellent counselor, you can, you go ahead and you I guess, phase all this. You explain how it's going to be, and don't be surprised.
Absolutely.
You do a lot of that, which it's great that Faith Farm does. Remember, everybody, they do this for free. So that's why I beg you to send money to Faith Farm Ministries, to donate, whatever you can do. Go to their thrift shops, buy whatever you can buy. Don't go to a regular furniture store, because their stuff's great. And if you need to have them, call them and they'll come pick up your stuff, and make sure it's good stuff, please. Don't just they don't want junk. They want things that they can sell to people, because that's how they make money. And with the men, there's sometimes 400 men that they are feeding, that they're housing, that they are teaching new jobs. This is a very expensive issue, and they do it all on donations and sponsorships. So we really, I like to beg a lot for Faith Farm Ministries, because they're worth every cent. So it's Joanne Green. She's a program manager and the counselor for Eastham Home for Women at Faith Farm Ministries. Now, Eastham Home, that was the founder, Eastham.
Yes, Reverend Garland Eastham. Yes,
Exactly.
was the founder.
So that was a good name for you all to have that. Now, I was curious when you said they're going to be there for 4 weeks before they can see their families. Can they be on the phone
For
with
30 days, not
30
4 weeks,
days.
for 30 days.
30
Yes.
days. Can they be on the phone with them, or there's no?
After
nothing?
30 days, the ones who have minor children are allowed to have contact after 2 weeks. if they have minor children. If no minor children, then we like them to have those 30 days to clear their head.
Right.
And kind of try to get accustomed to some detaching, because some of the relationships they've come from are quite toxic. And
Exactly.
so we want to give them the a fair opportunity to try and clear their head and kind of acclimate to this new environment.
Yeah, and it is new. So let's talk about, we know that the men usually get to drive trucks or fix cars or fix equipment or do lots of things. But tell us about the women. What responsibilities do you help the women do?
Well, the women work in the call center. They're the operators normally and the routers to arrange for the pickups, the donations, and the delivery for the sales. So the women have that responsibility. The women also do cleaning. They do most of the janitorial services for the church, for our corporate office and that. And we have our infamous hot dog stand that some customers just come on a daily basis just because they love our hot dogs. And we have a table of jewelry and other snacks, popcorn and that kind of thing. All of those things are to help to bring some revenue into the program.
Women, did they come from bullying situations?
Some of them did. Some of them did come from bullying situations. And of course, when they come from those situations, in order to survive, they sometimes adapt the same kinds of behaviors and they bring them with them when they come to us. And so it's our responsibility to let them know that they don't need any of those behaviors anymore. It's absolutely necessary. I'm aware that in order to survive on the street, as many of these women have had to, they have had to develop a skill of manipulation and control just to survive. And sometimes it's a little bit difficult getting them to let their guards down and realize you don't need to do that anymore. You're in a safe place. But we do see it in the first maybe few months, until they become comfortable, until they can develop a level of trust. So yeah, the bullying does happen to them. And in response, they build up this wall and they come out in this stance of defense, like, if anybody's going to be gotten, it's going to be you, because I've been gotten all my life. So nobody else is getting me. I'm going to get you before you get me. But we understand that as staff. And so we understand what we're dealing with, and God gives us the grace to deal with it.
Joanne, I have to say this to you. I have interviewed many, many people over the many years. You are, what I said at the beginning, you are spectacular. I am so thrilled to be
that's
speaking
kind of
to
you to say that.
And really, and I don't do this casually. I love them there, and to see what they've been able to bring is incredible. I hope you're proud of yourself, because I'm proud of you. I am so thrilled to see you giving your heart and your life there and helping people. I will say this to you too. I don't know who's counseling the men, but you have to clone yourself.
Well, actually, in recent months, I've been allowed to start counseling the men, and so I devote Fridays to the men. And so yes,
I just know it. I'm a gerontologist, and I've been, in the world of seniors and now baby boomers, and I can recognize someone who really has it. Have it. And I'm sure that when you get someone in front of you who's crying out for help, you help them. I can see it.
It's to me, Anita, it's not a job, it's an assignment. It's an assignment. And I feel so honored that God would trust me in the lives of these precious souls that he loves so much. That he would trust me to put my fingerprints on their souls, on their hearts. And so I don't ever forget that. I don't ever forget that, but by the grace of God, there go I. Because I have also endured some of the same traumas that many of these ladies have. And it's just been the grace of God that has salvaged me and given me an opportunity to be a part of his plan to help heal them. So I'm honored that he would even trust me to do this.
You know, Joanne, that's important you mention that, because that's the one thing when people are addicts of any kind, whether it's alcohol or something, they say, well, you don't understand. You've never been here.
Mhm.
Sounds like you could say, yes, I have. I know this, right?
And it's not necessarily to have been an addict.
Right.
All that,
Right.
they don't have drug problems. They don't have alcohol problems. They have pain problems. And they're trying to ease the pain, trying to anesthetize the pain. Hurt is common to all of us. It is how we choose to deal with it, what we use. So I can absolutely identify with pain, with feelings of abandonment and rejection and disappointment and hurt and all that. And that's what we go for. We're not trying to shine leaves on a tree. We're trying to get to the root. And so,
well, you are good.
Listen, so that's
what we go for. Sermons? Do you ever
Pardon?
give any sermons there? Do you give any sermons?
I teach almost on a daily basis. Yes.
Okay, I can see it.
You can see it.
Well, I guess we've run out of time, but I'm going to have you back again. I'll tell you, you're one good. I'll use the word cookie. I like cookies.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that.
That's great. Well, our country needs people like you right now, I have to tell you. So I am so happy to have talked to you, Joanne. Joanne,
thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. Program manager and counselor for Eastham Home for Women at Faith Farm Ministries. If you wanted to contribute to anyone, please remember about Faith Farm Ministries and see just what goes on there. Thank you, Joanne, and be safe.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you.
And
you
I'll
too.
talk to you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God
Bye,
bless.
everybody. We'll be back with another Zoomer Times TV show shortly.
If you or someone you know is having an addiction problem, there's a place that can help. It's called Faith Farm Ministries. What's important for those without addiction is that Faith Farm Ministries is supported by their 3 amazing thrift stores and by donations. Most people are not aware of the wonderful work they do for our fellow citizens. The way you can help is to make sure that their work continues. It's easy. Bring unwanted items to their locations during the day or put them in their drop boxes. Then, be sure to go and buy new or used items from their thrift stores. They're located in Fort Lauderdale, Boynton Beach, and in Okeechobee. Faith Farm Ministries makes the entire process a win-win to help and to get help, maybe even for yourself. For information, call 561-737-2259. That's Faith Farm Ministries, 561-737-2259, or go online to www.faithfarm.org.